Not so long ago, I had a very inspiring conversation with Ntombana Mabena, Mqhele Yezizwe. It was about women empowerment, but spanned way beyond that. And seeing that it's Women's Month, I think we should revisit that conversation for a number of reasons. Number one, she's there to create value beyond self, beyond gender, and beyond South Africa. She has an African vision, which I think should be highlighted more and more. Number two, I know her very closely. I've monitored her progress, and I'm happy to share her progress with you, the audience. Number three, the vision is bigger than self, and we need to emphasize that in every way possible. It starts with you. So let's see what else we can gain if we missed a few nuggets of wisdom from this gem of a woman called Ntombana Mabena. We appreciate you, ladies. Happy Women's Day, and enjoy the conversation. Cheers.
I would like us to now jump into the element of women empowerment. As it is, you've counted your grandmother, you've counted your mother, you've counted those maternal aspects that have come before you and that have left their legacy and then transmuted what they know and who they are in you through elements such as your purpose and passion, which is now entrepreneurship. But also in the corporate space, you spoke a lot about empowerment. So am I correct? And can you add a bit more into the drive for empowering women in particular?
Yeah. I'm going to compare it to racial segregation and addressing social ills of the past in terms of race. So when I look at the empowerment element of why are we paying such a huge focus to women, it is for me trying to address a past ill, okay? The past ill being that women were oppressed, still are, however, there's been strides. So that's fantastic. So when you try and address a past ill, it will always seem like you are paying too much attention to that particular group of people, in this case, women. The same way you look at triple BEE and it's like, how? But then you are now empowering all these Black people. What about the other races, you know? So it'll always seem like exclusion. What I like about women empowerment is that for me, it's an internal thing. It's a feeling. It's about evoking. It's not only about equal opportunities. We have policies that are trying. We have policies that are trying to address those things. Yes, we need to make noise about them and ensure that they are being enforced. Yes, men are still higher paid in corporate than they are their male counterparts. Yes, those ills are still there. However, after all we've done for policies in organization in terms of ensuring equalities, what are we doing and what are we saying to women for them to believe that they are empowered, for them to believe that they are strong, and them to believe that they are able to make their own choices? What are we doing? And that's the approach I am focusing on for women empowerment. It's uplifting women's feelings inside about themselves, because we can give them all the opportunities in the world, but if we have not inspired confidence and courage in them, they won't grab those opportunities. They will still sit there with all that opportunity and all of that, ability, pardon me, with all the possibilities in the world. But internally, they will have an inability to go out there because they do not know who they are. They do not identify who they are in relation to the world. They do not identify their contribution to the world. Something I'm focusing largely on is particularly women in Africa. And Babales, if I ask you, name 5 prominent, influential women in the history, men in the history of Africa, you can count 100 for me. But the average person in Africa does not know the women who made history. I'll tell you the first person they'll tell you about is Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Okay, so, but do they understand the women in West Africa who were faced by severe colonization? Who are those women who played parts in running those empires? Who are those women, not just in South Africa, but the rest of Africa in our history, who contributed to what Africa is today? We don't know that because we don't talk about those women. So my aim is to really make obvious and be loud about our role models in African women, that in a time where women were oppressed, these women were still pushing on in the improvement of lives in Africa. And they were breaking barriers from a long time ago. There's a lot of beautiful examples of breaking barriers in our current day and age. And I do aim to focus on that too. But I'm really trying to remind women who we are looking up to and the things that women have achieved that no one makes noise about. You know who the richest man in Africa is right now, right?
Yeah.
But do people know who the richest woman in Africa is and what she does and how she built that empire? Do people know?
Not really, because
oh no, we don't know our queens. We don't know them. And how can we be future role models when we don't understand our history? So I'm really trying to impact the African women internally. And then obviously we'll get, and I'm really focusing on building the brand right now. And then we'll get to a stage of opportunities, initiatives, So at this point, I'm really speaking to the feeling and I'm speaking to the heart, and I'm trying to center women and I'm trying to get them to find their ways to center themselves. That's my focus right now.
Then let's focus on the brand. Mqhele Yezizwe. Tell us about that brand specifically. How it came about, why it's so close to your heart, and why it's your baby, as you were about to say. Yeah.
Oh, it's such an emotional thing for me that, remember, it's a venture that I'm putting time into, that at the current moment, I'm willing not to make money from. Okay. Because it's my give back. I haven't always been confident. I haven't always been.
Really?
What?
I'm the one that's supposed to say what? Because since I've known you on a caliber of confidence that is unmatched at times,
When do you think that comment of "I don't take compliments well" comes from? That comes from it comes from an inability to identify the greatness, like that people see in you, right? Because I'm a critic of myself. So, so I wasn't always expressive about my confidence and about who I am. And I didn't always own it. When I was younger, sometimes I'd be like, oh, but people want that, so maybe I must be that. It's not working out like that anymore. So for me, it's about inspiring that confidence and inspiring the queen in everyone. I realized we live in a society where you can only be a queen through a title, right? You can only be a queen because there's something prominent. You come from this family, or you have this much money, whatever it is. And as much as I respect structures of hierarchy, I really do. I do believe that there's a queen in each and every woman in Africa. And I just think that what we're meant to do is we're meant to identify the queens that we are. And that's what I'm trying to help women to do first, before addressing any inequalities and any social ills. First, trying to build up the internal queen. And that's where the name, the self, trying to build the self, actualizing. Who are you? And that's why the name Mqhele Yezizwe, Mqhele being the Zulu word for a crown. And when I say Yezizwe, I mean of nations. So Mqhele Yezizwe is crowns of nations. Those nations, I'm referring to African nations. So I'm referring to all women in Africa, and I aim for my reach to be across the whole of Africa. So that's why I'm accommodating all the nations of Africa. And you will see, it's so perfect that we talk about Mqhele, because behind me, you'll see I'm going to lift my screen up a bit just to show these. But if you look at my photos, you'll see like I've got on my right, your left, I've got a crown of, it's a Ndebele crown, the Manala clan. That's the clan I come from. It's actually believed to be the royal family crown. So, and then in the center, I've got like a gold floral crown. That was a representation of the richness of Africa in terms of the color, in what we represent in resources. Then I've got a black isiqholo samaZulu. So I've got another crown here, a very bright, colorful one. I've also got the red one. I've got a few crowns. I've got a collection of a crown. But the aim is to say every woman deserves a crown. And any chance I get, you'll find me with something on my head. Any chance I get. Because wearing the physical crown channels my inner queen. That's what it does. It channels my confidence. It channels my, me thinking I can really do anything I absolutely want to do in this world. It channels that girl. I don't need to have that crown on. We wear invisible crowns every day. We walk into corporate offices where sometimes you are met by challenging circumstances. Sometimes you are met by egos. You are met by inequalities, yet we stand up for ourselves. And then you come home and you have to be a sister, a mother in some people's cases, and you have to be daughter of the year, and you have to be a support system. So really, every woman is wearing an invisible crown. So Mqhele for me is how I want people to ask the question, why are you always wearing crowns? I'm actually disappointed in myself that I didn't wear one on this thing.
I actually thought about it, and then I figured it's because of all the crowns behind you that you've told people about now.
No. Okay, sorry, I'm here now. I'll wear it.
I like that.
I just picked the easiest one to wear. That was somewhere close to me.
I like that. And as women, you're bold. So I'd say you chose the perfect one.
The perfect one, yeah. So for me, when you wear a crown, it channels a certain person in you, and it channels the queen in you. So, and really in the long term, like you said, it's about creating opportunities. It's about creating spaces, the right spaces for women to feel safe to be themselves, and to fully engage and fully participate in the economy. So I think that for that reason, I will always encourage the queen in every woman to just rise up and come out.
Oh, beautiful stuff. So which platforms are you using to encourage and empower women with that element of self and self-identity, self-awareness, and recognizing that they are queens? Tell us about the platforms. How do people get exposed to such from you?
Obviously, Facebook and Instagram currently is my current reach. And the name of the page is Mqhele Yezizwe. Even if you search under my name, Ntombana Mabena, it will take you to that page, because that's who I am. I no longer identify outside of Mqhele Yezizwe. I don't identify outside of it. So that is who I am. I don't even separate the two anymore. That is who I am. So that is how you can be exposed to that space. I'm trying to create an energy, Babales. I'm trying to encourage a certain energy in women, so that it is constantly their energy, so that they walk into a room and when they speak, people listen. I'm trying to encourage women who have an undeniable presence, whether they are speaking or not. It's just that in me, it's through speaking. So you can go out to those platforms. I embrace African women in history. I embrace the beauty of African women. I'm always embracing the beauty of Africa. It's color, it's through dance, it's through pictures, all of these things, anything that evokes that positive energy of confidence in females. That's what I'm working on right now. That's my huge focus. And on some days I address issues that are affecting African women, you know. The other day I was talking about the education of a girl child, and I was addressing, you know, some facts in terms of how there's more girl children that are out of school than boy children in Africa. There was actually a number to it. It was in the millions. But that's how many girl children are not in school. And for me, it was so traumatic. And I had to then find out, but why are more girl children not in school? If women equally as men could contribute to the economy. And it spoke about, because of forced early child marriages, of course, in certain countries that is a practice, or social bias of what women should be. They shouldn't be in school, they shouldn't have careers. So that kind of social bias, some religions promote that women stay at home. Therefore, it doesn't promote the little girls going to school. So all of those, something simple. You see, we've got 1 million sanitary drives, and people ask themselves, why are there so many sanitary things going on? It's because in the week that a girl that cannot afford sanitary, she's not going to school. She's missing out on 5 days that the boy or child gets to sit behind the desk every day. But she cannot go to school because we take for granted sanitary resources. So the chances of her failing and not succeeding at school are slightly higher because of things like that. You see, so those are the various topics that we touch on, topics that are affecting women in Africa, that are affecting girls in Africa. Because remember, we want to be the agents that contribute to that change. There are many across Africa. We appreciate them, we look up to them, but we want to be part of that change of all these issues that affect African women, and then obviously provide the right opportunities for African girls and African women, over and above providing and encouraging the confidence and the courage that they need. You then need to obviously provide the opportunities.
Well, you know, you've talked about the platform, Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And you've got such a powerful voice that I'd like to see you on this platform, YouTube, you know, because you speak so elegantly, but you're such a force. No, truly, you're such a force. And that voice, it needs to expand beyond that Facebook profile. So just use many other platforms to spread this message, because I kid you not, it's a powerful message. You've enlightened me now on facts, you know, and we always think of things in silos, what's happening around us. You are taking it beyond. In South Africa. You are taking it beyond. You are taking it continentally. And I know once done with conquering the continent, you are likely to move into the diaspora and all the other African women that have been displaced globally, you know? So use platforms that will reach people globally as well. I know Facebook is the largest platform that you can use, but expand that. That's what I'd encourage. And with the confidence and zeal that you have, I know being in front of a camera, you're not camera shy, you're articulate, you are clear, and your points are like, they hit hard. So I think just explore that. Do me that one favor. If we can get anything out of this conversation, do me that one favor.
You know, the thing is, okay, so you believe in vision boarding, right?
Yeah.
And I kid you not, my vision board has that on it. And I think even on a larger scale, and I will do it, Babalez. Thank you for being the reassurance, the reassuring voice, and an encouragement towards it. I have people around me that have also encouraged me to do it. It is part of the plan. It may not be now, because you know what I'm learning? I'm learning the value in timing. It took a lot from me, because I'm that girl now. We must do it, everything now. Launch, Yonkito, everything we want to try. Let's do it all together. And there was a time I took a break for a couple of months. And in that time, I was really centering and listening more than I was speaking. And definitely speaking up and on bigger platforms like YouTube, like having a channel, certainly part of the future. And thank you so much, you know, for speaking to that manifestation of mine, because it is something,
because it shall come into fruition for sure.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you guys for actually sticking around until the end. I hope you were able to reignite that vision within yourself. I hope you were able to inspire the women in your life. I hope you were able to inculcate a culture that breeds wisdom and knowledge and sharing at the most part. Have a glorious Women's Day. I love you. It starts with you. Cheers.